Hi, this is Neil from Free Tours by Foot in London with another video for you. This one's slightly different to my previous videos where I've up to now been doing snippets of my walking tours. Today I'm going to talk a bit about Tower Bridge. That's Tower Bridge, as you can see on the screen, and not London Bridge. It's not uncommon for people to muddle the two up, but this one is indeed Tower Bridge, one of London's best known buildings. And indeed, I think probably since the scaffold went up around Big Ben, probably London's most photographed building as well. So London Bridge, the one slightly further down the river that isn't Tower Bridge, has a very long history. It dates back in one form or another around 2,000 years. The Romans put an original bridge across on roughly that site in around AD 43. Tower Bridge, however, is not nearly so old. It was originally opened in 1894 and officially opened by the then Prince of Wales, who was later to become Edward VII. When it was built, its cost was nearly £1.2 million, which in today's money would equate to around £140 million. So considering what an icon it's become, it's probably actually not that bad a price. When it first opened, the walkways you can see over the top of the bridge were open air, and they were designed to allow pedestrians to cross the river when the bridge was being opened to allow river traffic through. They didn't last too long though. They closed them in 1910, and that was mostly due to the prevalence of pickpockets and prostitutes that were working on them. They then stayed closed all the way through till 1982, when there was a major refurbishment of the bridge. They were enclosed at that time and were opened up as part of the Tower Bridge experience, which is an attraction you can actually go and pay and visit now. So if you want to go and visit Tower Bridge, you want to pay to enter, you can walk across those walkways, and they do have glass panels under your feet, so you can look down at the traffic passing under you, up and down the river. You can also go around and visit the engine rooms underneath the towers at each end as well, which is quite fascinating. When originally opened, the bridge was actually painted a dull chocolate brown colour, and it stayed that way until 1977, when it was actually painted red, white and blue as a celebration for the Queen's Silver Jubilee year. The current blue and white paint scheme you see now dates back as far as 1982, and that was put in place again as part of that refurbishment project which was done then. The bridge itself does still open. That's a question we get asked quite often, and it opens around 1,000 times a year, though most of those tend to be in the summer months. But if you are here in the summer, there's a pretty good chance you will see the bridge opening up, allowing river traffic through. Each bascule, each side of the bridge, takes around 5 minutes to raise. And if you're in a ship and you would like to pass through, it won't actually cost you anything. All you have to do is phone up and give 24 hours notice, and they will book you in and raise the bridge for you. One of the historical laws or traditions that goes with this is that river traffic actually still takes precedence over road traffic. This was best illustrated when Bill Clinton made a state visit in 1997, and he managed to arrive at the bridge just as it was due to open and had to sit parked waiting in his car for 20 minutes whilst the ship went through. So it doesn't actually matter who you are, although I suspect if you're the Queen, you probably could delay the opening, but anybody else, you've got to wait, I'm afraid. Something that if you walk across the bridge you probably wouldn't notice unless you knew it was there is a secret chimney. There's lamps or lanterns that line the bridge on both sides, painted in the same blue as the rest of the bridge, as you'll see. Over on the north side, on the left hand side of the bridge as you face north, you might notice there's a lamp or lantern that has no top on it. This is actually a chimney, and it used to be used to vent smoke from the stove in the guards room, which was based down below here. It's actually a fancy restaurant down there these days, so you won't see many guards down there. In 1952, a number 78 bus driven by Albert Gunther had to leap from one of the bascules to the other after the bridge had begun to open with the bus still on it. These days, there's around 40,000 people a day cross the bridge in a typical working day. Not something you're really seeing in the video I've shot, because obviously London is in lockdown at the moment. I'm shooting these videos during my hours exercise that I'm allowed. Unfortunately, I live very central in London, so I can go out and do a bit of filming on my phone. But I think video like this really does illustrate to Londoners just how surreal this current lockdown is, because this bridge is absolutely packed. Normally on a sunny day, I do a pub tour which walks across this bridge once or twice a week in the evenings, and walking across here at 8 o'clock in the evening, it's often a fight to get from one side to the other. So that's Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge, not London Bridge, so remember that. Thanks for watching. As I say, my name is Neil B from Free Tours by Foot in London. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe, and I will be back soon with more. Thank you.